Children are transformed dramatically when they learn to read in the first 3 years of school. Those who do so successfully have considerably improved life chances compared to those who flounder in those early years. It's difficult to do well in subjects at school without learning to read and write because those skills are used in subjects right across the curriculum. In that sense, it's important to think not only about learning to read, but reading to learn. Educational success has enormous implications for a person's health and social engagement right across the lifespan. So in that sense, early literacy success is not only important for the individual, it's also important at a population or public health level. It's been exciting to look at how much we've learnt in recent years about how children learn to read. And one of the most important messages coming out of that research is the role of early oral language competence. By oral language competence, we mean children's everyday expressive and receptive, so talking and listening skills that encompass skills such as vocabulary, syntax, so knowledge of how words go together to express different ideas, narrative language skills in both the expressive and the receptive domains. And of course, phonological and phonemic awareness, which develop in the preschool years. It's been pleasing of recent years to see a shift back towards phonics-based approaches, but phonics in itself is not enough. There are many other aspects of language that teachers need to also develop in the early years classroom, both because those language skills in storytelling and vocabulary and syntactic complexity are important in their own right because they're the means by which we all navigate the business of everyday life, and because those skills are the very competencies that underpin the transition to literacy. In Victoria, Australia, we've recently completed the Oral Language Supports Early Literacy, or OLSEL trial. This was a cluster randomised controlled trial across 14 disadvantaged schools in Victoria. And the intervention comprised professional development modules delivered by language and literacy experts to teachers in early years classrooms. The professional development modules had a focus on 4 key areas: how teachers can develop children's early vocabulary skills, how they can develop children's early narrative skills, strategies that they can use to help children to use and understand longer and more complex sentences, and also strategies that teachers can use to strengthen children's phonemic awareness skills, their knowledge of how sounds are put together, blended and segmented to better understand the representation of written text compared to oral language in English. What we found at the end of that 2-year intervention period when we reassessed the children's oral language and literacy skills was significant gains for the children in the research schools compared to those in the control schools. So this study is exciting because it tells us that teachers can do things that effect real change even in the complex environment of an early years classroom, and that teachers' instructional approaches produce particular benefits with respect to oral language and literacy skills for those early learners. We'll be developing this work further in Victoria starting in 2014 with the 5-year-long classroom practice and oral language study.